Alright everybody, Todd here, All Things Archery Shooting. Another vintage bow review. This just came in the mail today. I got this off of eBay for $104. It is a Grizzly 58-inch recurve bow by Bear Archery. I believe it's a 1969 vintage. So let's get it opened up and check it out. Stringer with it. And it came with the original string with it. Wood string. I think that's it. Okay, cool. So this is a pretty good deal. I mean, this bow actually came with a new string, which is nice. Came with a recurve, not a longbow stringer, not really a recurve stringer, but still kind of nice to have a nice stringer brought with giving it with it. So again, $104, not a bad deal. Here we go. Here's the bow. This is a 1969 based on the serial number. Bear always used nines in there from like 64 to 70. They used, or 64 to 69. The first number in their serial number was actually last year it was made. So this is a 1969 53-pound bow. It does have a leather rest on it. It's kind of worn a little bit, and the hair rest is worn on it. So we're going to replace that. Okay. Has one minor crack in the fiberglass right there. Nothing major, but it should be fine. We'll take a look at it. These older Bear bows have those sprawling in it. Let's get you a closer look at this Bear Grizzly. Okay, as I said, it came with a brand new string sent with it. Okay. Standard B50 Dacron, all right. And as you can see, see the serial number of this bow here. As you can look, that serial number, that 9 there is the first year. That's the letter of the year it was made. So 69, it's the first number in the serial number. So 69, I know that's a 69 bow because of the 9 there. That's how Bear marked their bows from 64 to 69. Okay, it's a 53-pound bow. It's a 56-inch AMO, looks like, which is nice, 56 inches, okay. All right. Here's your Bear patent dates on it right here, including the Canadian patent date. So this is definitely before 1971, because in 1972 they got rid of the Canadian patent date on it. All right, here's the tip on it. Okay, string groove. All right, it does have reinforced tips on the edge. You could probably handle a fast flight, but I'm not going to use a fast flight because of this right here. If you look here, it's got a very minor sprawling in the fiberglass there. Very minor, but I mean, it will still shoot, but it's definitely there, okay? This has no crown on the front of it. This is considered a working man's bow. Here's another little bit of sprawling right there on it too, so, all right. Bear Grizzly, as you can see. Another white tip here, okay? Nothing on the top limb. All right, you can see the handle is beautiful wood though. Look at the wood, it's gorgeous wood on that. It says the gold Bear medallion. It's flush with it. All right, so very nice bow. Okay, 56-inch Dacron. We'll use that on it. All right, let's go ahead and get this old rest off here. It's quite well used. We're going to put a new rest on it. Okay, it came off pretty easily. There's the original Bear type of pad on there. You can tell by the lines. And this here is the original type of Bear pad. That's what they originally came out with. There we go, and as you can see, this bow is set original 20 inches, 53 pounds of that draw weight is exact area. This is back in the 60s when Bear put the actual weight on the handle here and then actually put it here. Later on, Bear started rounding up the numbers to the nearest 5, so this would have been rounded up to a 55 pound if you were to buy a newer model of this bow. But back then he put the exact weight on there. But he always put the exact weight behind the rest here. Let's get that cleaned off with some Goo Gone. Can rub that in there real good, let it sit there, it'll soak really good and get all that glue off of it. Then we can take all that glue off of this thing, get it cleaned up. We'll put a new rest on it. This should be a really good hunting bow at 53 pounds. Don't concern yourself with these little glass things. A lot of bear bows had that, especially the older, like the 60s and early 60s, late 60s, so they perfected this in the 70s. It's nothing, it's just where the bear glass, they used to use round strands. One of the strands are popping through, came unglued, but it's not going to hurt now. Still, the strength is still there. Okay, so I've shot several bear bows with that kind of setting. If people are a little concerned about that, there's nothing to be concerned about, especially down here where it's on, where it fades out at. Up here, I might be a little more concerned up in this part here, but here where it's most thicker at, I'm really going to concern myself with it. Okay, let's get that cleaned up now. And there we go, cleaned it right out. Okay, good. I got all the goo off of it and everything. You see 53 pounds. Now what I'm also going to do is I am going to use a little acetone. I don't use a lot because you got to be careful with this acetone, but it'll clean all that extra Goo Gone stuff, so your pad will stick to it. Otherwise your pad's not going to, your new rest ain't going to stick to it, because Goo Gone leaves oily residue on there. You have to get it all off. But that's the best stuff I found to remove this, and as you can see, it cleaned right up. Beautiful wood there. Look at that wood. It's gorgeous, ain't it? Okay. I've got a rest for this. It's right here. Okay. This is a hair rest with a little bear emblem, so it should be pretty nice to set on there. We're going to get that on there now. Okay. This being a 56-inch bow, should be a really good hunting bow, especially on a tree stand or a ground blind or something. So you can also use your little bit of acetone you have on there if you want. You just clean all this dust and debris and dirt off of it. You see, it takes everything right off the bow. And if you just use it lightly, it won't hurt nothing on the bow. But we'll clean it up pretty well though. And just wipe it down with a nice soft cloth. There we go, okay. Now you install these hair rests, you'll be sure you want to move where the hair goes. Okay, what I mean by that is where the hair is. If the hair is pulling this way, you can run your hand across and you see how the fiber's going up. Now if you do it this way, all the fibers lay. That's the way you want your bow to come off there. So you want it to come off this way. So this is your arrow, this being your point, that being your knock area. You want it to flow with the hair of the bow like this, okay? Set that up there like that. Get a mark on it real good. And that leaves you a little template on the back of it. And all you gotta do is you take your scissors, use a sharp pair of scissors. You just want to cut that out right along the edge of that line, okay? There we go. Last thing is you take your thing and set it on here. Just check it. Looks pretty good right there. Okay. All right. Get this excess on the edge. I'll cut it off with your scissors. Just clean it up a little bit so it'll have all excess hair falling off of it. Okay. Take your sharp knife. Go ahead and peel this off. There you go. Done. Okay. Now all you do is lay it in there now. Start from the front or back, don't make a difference which way you start from, as long as you start somewhere. Pull it tight and run it over. The trick is you want to pull it tight, because if you don't pull it tight, it'll bunch up on you. and lay it in there. And you're going to have a little bit of overhang there, but that's okay. You can take your scissors and just trim it right off. Alright, and then the last thing I do with these hair rests, because they do leave fuzzy hair on the edge there, so after I get it all down where I want it at, I take my scissors and I cut off 45 like this on the hair. That cleans all the hair off and gets it nice and clean. See that? How clean that looks now? And there you go. Okay, last thing you do is put this rest on here. And then get your knife, peel it off. You want to be sure you get all the paper off. That little paper that's left there, be sure to get it off. Okay, good. And just add this right to it. Stick it right over top that. There you go, just like that. Okay. All right, now let's go ahead and get the get it strung up. And we'll get the knock set on it. And we'll check the weight on it. Awful nice of the guy to provide me with a brand new string for this, and the correct string, which is a B50 Dacron string, which this bow came with originally. Now this bow will handle a fast light string. I am a little leery using a fast light in this bow just because of the little issues right here in the fiberglass. Again, this is not going to affect the bow with normal, but with a fast light it may, so I'm going to leave it with a B50 Dacron. And this is a copy of the original bow string, Bear bow string. Same green serving, made of Dacron, 20 strands of Dacron. Same 6-inch serving. All right. They did make a small loop and a big loop, which is nice. Okay. Let's get this bad boy strung up and see what she pulls. Okay. All right. Okay. Our Bear recommends between a 7-8 inch brace height on this bow, and I've got 7.5 inches, so perfect. Okay. Let's go ahead and add a knock to it real quick. All right. Let's add the knock. And then we're going to check the weight on it. Okay, here's the knock. Let's see here. Okay. Take my knock pliers. I hoist my knock about 3/8 of an inch above it. Okay. Set that now. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to take my bow stringer, my bow scale, handheld bow scale. We'll check it at my draw length, and I'll check it on my tilter machine at 28 to see how close it is to that 53-pound mark. Okay. Let's see what we get on this first. Nice. Okay, my draw weight, my draw is coming in at 57 pounds, which is about right, 53. It's about 4 pounds heavier because I'm pulling 29.5 inches. Each inch over is about 2 to 3 pounds of weight. So this is pulling 57 pounds, so that's good. I also checked it on my tiller machine, how close it was to the 53 pounds, and my tiller machine actually says that at 54 pounds, okay? Just at 54 pounds at 28 inches. So it's about 1 pound over, all right? All right. Like I said, this is what Bear considered his working man's bow. It's been in his lineup, I think, since 1953. I think the first year the Grizzly came out. And it really hasn't, I mean, it had a first major change in the early 60s, but really hasn't changed much since then. It's still available today through Bear Archery. You can still get this same bow through Bear Archery, of course, with different woods and stuff. It's been through several iterations. Went through the future wood and went through the custom wood, things like that. But basic overall design has not changed in this bow. And this bow was very quick in the day. This bow averaged about 185 to 190 feet per second back in its day for a 50-pound bow. So it was pretty quick back in its day. And still quick today. So we're going to get this thing out in the range to see what it shoots. We're going to do 10 grains per pound of draw weight. So if this bow pulling at 57 pounds, I'll shoot a 570 grain arrow out of it. So I want to thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. And don't forget that I'm going to be doing a drawing for a like new Bear Kodiak Magnum 52-inch bow. You have to be a Patreon member to sign up for it. Everyone that signs up on my Patreon channel, including all my other subscribers, you're automatically entered. And the drawing will be made on October 30th, and I'll be giving that bow away. So you need to get in there and get quick. I'll put a link to my Patreon channel in the description for you as well. So it'll give you a chance to win a nice Kodiak Magnum hunting bow, all right? All right, so I want to thank you guys for watching. If you've already subscribed, please do so. If you can, please click that bell next to the description button. That way you can notify me of upcoming videos. Also, please share with your friends and your coworkers and your hunting buddies. I really appreciate all the support I'm getting. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button. And be sure to look for part 2, the range, all right? So I'll see you at the range on this bow, and we'll put it through its paces. We'll check the speed on it. We'll check the accuracy on it, and how it shoots, the quietness, the whole 9 yards. So be sure to look for that. So until next time, guys, I'll see you on the range. Ciao.